the brave little cloud. High above the world, in a sky full of fluffy clouds, lived a tiny cloud named Nimbus. Nimbus wasn't like the other clouds. While the bigger clouds were able to float lazily across the sky, casting shade and bringing rain, Nimbus was much smaller. He was often overlooked by the other clouds and wished he could do something special. One day, the winds began to stir and the sky turned dark. A great storm was coming, and the larger clouds began to gather, ready to bring the much-needed rain to the land below. But there was one problem. The largest cloud, thunder, was too heavy to move quickly, and the storm clouds were starting to scatter. Without the storm clouds gathered together, the storm wouldn't bring enough rain to the crops and trees that depended on it. Nimbus watched the other clouds struggle, and he felt a strong desire to help. Even though he was small and light, he knew that he could do something. He may not have been able to create a storm like the others, but he could certainly help carry the smaller clouds that had scattered. Determined, Nimbus swirled through the sky, chasing after the lost clouds. He gently floated next to a cloud that was drifting off course, then another. Slowly, Nimbus started to bring them all together, one by one, until they formed a small storm. Just as the storm began to gather strength, the wind picked up. Thunder, the largest cloud, rumbled above. The sky began to flash with light, and the first drops of rain began to fall. But without Nimbus, the storm would have never formed. The tiny cloud's courage and determination were what had brought all the clouds back together. When the storm finally passed, the land below was filled with the much-needed rain. The crops had been watered, the trees were refreshed, and the flowers stood tall. The other clouds looked at Nimbus with admiration. They had been too focused on their own size and strength to realize that sometimes it's the smallest of clouds who can make the biggest difference. Nimbus, once overlooked, became a hero. The clouds had learned that no matter how small or light you are, everyone has something special to offer, and that even the tiniest cloud can change the world.